Hey everybody, welcome to Etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Yakima Long Haul 4-bike rack carrier here on our 2020 Winnebago View. Now, if you're starting to go on some long road trips and you are just getting into your motorhome and you are wanting to get some bikes to the trailheads with you, keep in mind, these are going to be a little different than if you just had a normal vehicle. Since we're further from our rear axle, we are going to need more support, and that's where the Long Haul really starts showcasing itself. It has been designed and tested for RVs, so we know we're not going to have any problem at all. With a 37.5-pound capacity per bike, we are also going to do a good job of getting most of those bikes that we need to the trailhead with no problem. You will notice that we do have 3 points of contact on our dual arm support system here. So if you're looking at a way of getting carbon frame bikes to the trails with you, unfortunately, this isn't going to be a great option as we are going to have frame contact. So as we go down the road, we are going to start warping those carbon frames. So unfortunately today, not going to be great for us. Also, if you have any women's bikes, step-through bikes, or maybe some kids' bikes, you might have a little bit of an issue with this horizontal frame contact actually working for yourself. How we combat that? We can pick up a bike adapter bar from Etrailer.com as well, giving us a nice horizontal purchase for these dual arm support system. At the end, too, of the arms, you can see on either end, we do have a Yakima favorite bottle opener on either end. So if you want to have a cold one after or on our visit, we can have those on the very end. And you'll notice this little metal spoke as well. What that guy's for? We also have an integrated cable lock here for us today. So what's great about this, we can run this through all of our bikes, make sure that they stay nice and secure to our rack. Go ahead and lock it in like there. And this way, all we have to do is have our key. And this is a Yakima product, so we can go ahead and utilize their same key system. So this is going to be key-like to our hitch lock that we'll break down later in the video. But also, if we have any other Yakima accessories, we can go ahead and get them actually key-like. And if you're like me, it's really nice that we can reduce all the amount of keys that we have on our key ring, but B, that we have to keep track of. So really like seeing that and how easy those are to use. Now, the cradles themselves are great. We have these little zip strip technologies, and they're one of my favorite ways of actually holding the bikes on. They do have a nice little foam blocker at the top, and they're extremely easy to use and pull down on our frame. Get a nice secure contact there. And the cradles themselves, as you can probably see, just have these little kind of air pockets in here. What that's great for, just a little bit of shock absorption as we are going down the road for our frames, as well as that inner groove does a great job of allowing our bike cables to not get pinched between our frame and the cradle. That way we don't create any kind of vibration and friction damage on our frame. To get the bike off isn't going to take much time at all. We just have to pop those out like so. These zip strips make it very easy to take on and off. The only disadvantage of them is they don't have really a great place to store while they're on the bike rack or while we're taking it off. But as long as you have a pocket, it won't be too much of a hassle. One thing I like to mention too, we do want to go ahead and pop those off. If you want to keep that lifespan, you can take them off the rack, keep them inside our vehicle somewhere, and that way we can reduce the amount of weather that they actually have. You'll notice I took that anti-sway off too. That guy does a great job of reducing a lot of the sway that our bikes are going to feel. And I think that's what's pretty important about these on our motorhomes. You know, you are on the back of the RV, so you're going to feel a lot more movement since we're further away from that axle. And one great thing about the Long Haul too is it does come with 2 straps, and that way it can make it really easy to kind of bind our bikes together, and we can reduce a lot of that play. And that anti-sway control on each of our bikes really starts helping, taking a lot of the innate play out. That way we're not fighting it the whole time. To take the bike off though, we just want to walk right up, grab either end, and gently walk it off of our rack. As you can see, that makes it really easy just to get going. It takes us no time at all to walk the bike on it either. Now, with any hitch-mounted accessory, we are going to be adding a little bit of length to our vehicle, especially to keep in mind here on our motorhome is already quite long. As you can see, we are adding a pretty big distance here, but we are getting 4 bikes. So let's go ahead and take a look to see how much we are adding. From the rear of our bumper here to the very end, this is going to put us right at 35.5 inches. So definitely a little length to consider. But we do have a way of quickly shortening that down. At the top here, you'll notice this little gray trigger lever here. All we do, pop that in like so. It's going to allow our arms to swing down, click back into place. And as you can see, it's going to have a little bit of play in this position. Not going to be anything crazy though. Don't think we're going to have any contact with the back of our Winnebago. It's going to be nice too when we are traveling in this position. We're not going to be really feeling this nearly at all, especially being in the RV. It can be well enough out of the way for ourselves. But let's go ahead and see how much space we actually shaved there. From the back of the bumper to the end puts us right at 11 inches. So you can see almost 30 inches being shaved down there. Can definitely start helping us. Going to give us a lot more maneuverability. especially when we're at the campsite. We're just trying to back the guy in. Gives us a lot more room. And another important dimension to keep in mind is our clearance to the ground. Being in the RV, don't think we're going to have anything too crazy. It won't be off-road or anything, but if we have a very steep design or a hill we're going over, could be something to keep in mind. To the very bottom here, it's going to put us right at 20 1/4 inches, almost 20 1/2 inches, so about 20 3/8 to the top there. Definitely be pretty much well enough out of the way, but as I said, as those front wheels go up, the back will go down. Moving our way down the receiver here, you can see we do have a nice little weld here, and that's where a lot of that strength and support comes from. That's why our bikes are going to be nice and secure on here, as this guy is going to stand up to the tensile strength that we're going to have being on the back of our motorhome. And moving our way into, you can see we do have a threaded anti-rattle hitch bolt on here. Now, they're pretty standard across the industry, but they're definitely a sight for sore eyes. As you can see, as I shake this guy, it shakes the entire hitch. That means we're all in line with one system. It's going to make for a nice smooth ride for ourselves as we drive, but especially for our bike rack, and our bikes are going to stay nice and secure without all that play. On the end too, you will notice we have that Yakima locking core here, and as you mentioned, that will be key to like, utilizing Yakima's same key system. Well, I think Long Haul does a great job at getting your bikes to where you want to go, and it is going to be nice and secure. I do like those anti-sway cradles, and I'm a big fan of having those straps included. I really recommend putting those down, getting them nice and tight together. It's really going to help us reduce a lot of that play that our bikes are going to feel, and that way they stay looking pretty on the back of our vehicle. Well, I think that about does it for a look at the Yakima Long Haul 4-bike rack carrier here on our 2020 Winnebago View. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
Now we're going to go ahead and take it on our test course. First we'll start with the slaloms. This is going to show the side-to-side action. It's kind of going to mimic the movements that you'll see whenever you're driving down the road normally. And now with the fold speed bumps. These are going to be pretty much like normal speed bumps. You get to see the up and down action of the bike rack and see how it holds up. Now we'll have the alternating speed bumps. This is going to be more so like the uneven roads and some of that uneven terrain you might be traveling on.